Imagine living on an isolated farm. The nearest neighbor is half a mile away. You are surrounded by dark woods. 6 months before the tragedy, the family maid abruptly quit. She packed her bags in a panic. She told the master of the house, Andreas Gruber, that she couldn't stay another night. She claimed the house was haunted. She heard voices in the walls, footsteps in the attic. She begged them to leave. They didn't listen. On March 31st, 1922, a new maid, Maria, arrived at the farm. It was her first day on the job. It would also be her last. Days before the end, Andreas Gruber found something that chilled him to the bone. Fresh tracks in the snow, leading out of the dense forest and stopping right at his front door. He searched the property. He searched the barn. There were no tracks leading away. Whatever walked out of the woods was still inside. Strange things began to happen. Keys went missing, just vanished from hooks. Andreas couldn't lock the house anymore. He found a newspaper in the kitchen. A newspaper from Munich that he never bought. Someone had brought it into the house and left it there for him to find. At night, the family heard it. The creaking. Someone walking in the attic directly above their beds. Andreas checked with his shotgun. Nothing, but the attic had scratch marks on the lock. The family wasn't just dealing with a ghost. They were dealing with a squatter. Someone watching them sleep. Eating their food. Living in the crawl spaces. Chapter 3. The night of the Matic on the evening of March 31st. The farm went silent. Smoke stopped rising from the chimney. One by one, the family members were lured into the barn. We don't know how. Maybe they heard a noise. Maybe the cattle were restless. The weapon was a mattock, a heavy pickaxe used for digging roots. As each family member entered the dark barn, they were struck down instantly. Andreas, his wife Shizelia, their widowed daughter Victoria, and little Shizelia, only 7 years old. All four were stacked on top of each other in the hay, covered with a door. The killer then moved into the house. The new maid was killed in her bedroom, and finally, the youngest, Joseph, a toddler in his crib. But here's the detail that keeps detectives awake at night. The murders happened on Friday. The bodies weren't found until Tuesday. In those 4 days, the house was not empty. Neighbors saw smoke from the chimney. The cattle were fed. Food was eaten in the kitchen. The killer stayed. He slept in their beds. He cooked their meals. He lived in the house for days while 6 bodies lay rotting in the barn, and bedrooms just a few feet away. When the neighbors finally broke in on April 4th, they found a scene from hell. But the house was warm. The killer had vanished into the woods just hours before they arrived. The police were baffled. In a desperate move, they cut the heads off the victims and sent the skulls to psychics in Munich to try and find a clue. The skulls were eventually lost during World War II. Was it a robbery? No. Gold and money were found in plain sight. Was it a revenge killing? Andreas Gruber was known to be a difficult, grumpy man. Rumors of incest and hidden fortunes swirled. Many pointed to Lorenz Schlittenbauer, a neighbor who had a relationship with the daughter. He was the one who found the bodies. He knew exactly how to navigate the dark barn, but he was never charged. Conclusion: in 1923, the farm was demolished. The locals wanted to erase the evil from the land. A shrine stands there today. Over 100 years later, the case remains open. Who was the man in the attic? Why did he stay? If you heard footsteps in your attic tonight, would you go look? Leave a comment. Sleep well.